अरेहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाए स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर चोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाह हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है।
Rajesh, I don't mind waiting, huh?
No problem, but we have already started the live recording, so we'll go ahead. People will
Okay.
join, or otherwise they will catch up on recording. So last week we started this 12 contemplations. Very, very important topic from the point of view of practicing discriminative knowledge. Even the monks, when they are inflicted some pain like upsarg, at that time also they remember these 12 contemplations. They think about these 12 contemplations. And when they gets initiated into monkhood, for 2-3 days they do a fast and they just contemplate on this 12 bhavana, para bhavana. So this is very important because even monks are practicing this. So we as a householder is also this kind of practice is very important for us to get ahead in this path of spiritual liberation. So we saw that we already had studied about 12 contemplations in Vikrag Vigyan 1 by Pandit Jaychandji Chhabda. So you are a bit aware of this 12 contemplations, but we'll be covering here in detail about the 12 contemplations. And so we saw last week in the introduction that the first 6 contemplations are basically dealing with the is helping the soul to get distracted from body, world, and the sensual pleasures. And the next 6 are actually useful for practicing discriminative knowledge. Okay, so this is the base of 12 contemplations, and we already, you know, the name. Last week we had covered this. So impermanent, then no one can provide protection, world, unity. Unity means solitude of the soul, then separateness of the soul, then impurity of the body. These are the first 6, and the next 6 is influx, then stoppage of influx, dissociation of bondage, then we have nature of the universe, then we have rarity of attainment of true path of liberation, and the last one is the nature of true religion. So these are the 12 contemplations, and we had seen in the introduction that these 12 are helpful for us in practicing discriminative knowledge. So from that point of view, these are very important, and we should have a very detailed understanding of this. And these are nothing but 12 different ways of practicing discriminative knowledge. So you're learning 12 tricks at a time. And when there will be an actual day-to-day life situation, this understanding only will help you to come out of this. Otherwise, nowadays, if you see, every now and then some sort of challenges is always coming in our life. And, you know, people get struck up in this, they experience sadness, misery, and because of that, they bind new karmas and the cycle goes on and on. But if you want to stop this cycle, then you need to practice descriptive knowledge and be happy in that same particular situation. So the situation demands you to be sad, but because of this knowledge, concept clarity of this knowledge of this Jainism, you can be happy, enjoy those moments. So such a huge difference. On one side, the situation was such that you were going to suffer and experience misery. And on the other hand, with this knowledge, you are very comfortable in that situation also. In fact, you are enjoying those situations because those situations challenges you. It checks your preparations, that how prepared you are. So we are just now learning the theories of those practices where we will be executing those understanding to be happy in the same space. So I from that context, I feel this is one of the most important thing in our life. Okay, so prioritize this in your life. All other things will take a back seat now. It's only a 5 years course, and we are already into the end of third sem. So 1.5 years already passed. We are almost through the fundamentals of this whole course. Little bit of few topics are still left over, but by and large, we can say that your 80% of fundamental knowledge is clear, okay, is already covered in the syllabus. And the next 3 years, of course, will be practicing those theories and put it into practice. And we'll be reading some of the scriptures written by acharyas, and we'll be exploring those perspectives of acharyas. So we'll start with the first one, Anitya Bhavana, contemplation about impermanence of the world. In short, we can say impermanence. Here it is always mentioned feeling of impermanence, feeling of taking shelter, feeling of helplessness. So they have always mentioned feeling, but actually it will be contemplation or reflection. You can use both the words. So just because this is a machine translation, so that machine is not able to comprehend some of the terminology, because what is given here is also one of the synonyms. But what would be apt in such in this kind of situation is something that the machine cannot comprehend. So we will be doing corrections also. I have been able to complete this first one, and the second one is not complete. I'm up to half, but the first one is complete. So one common mistakes would be that they have used words like sanyog. So sanyog, they have used coincidence and combinations. Now both are wrong, right? Sanyog here means associations or connections. So you write it at the top only, then you will have to change these words. I will not be repeating it again and again, but you have to change it yourself, okay? So first one would be, they have used coincidence and combination, okay? So I'll make you a co-host, Aditi ji. I was seeing your face and then I was not finding your name. So I thought, what happened? Okay. I made you a co-host. Okay. So, so these words, you note it down because it will be used every now and then. Every paragraph you will have these words once, twice, like that. So the first word is sanyog. Sanyog means associations or connections, not correction, connections. Okay. So like our house, our business, our spouse, our children, our parents, these are all our associations. Okay. Whatever we possess is all our associations. Even body is an association of us because we consider ourselves to be a soul. So the body is also not ours. It is again an association or a connection. But they have every here and there they have mentioned is that either they mention it as coincidence, okay, संयोग की बात है ना? We always say संयोग की बात है. So that means coincidence. But here संयोग means associations. So they have gone wrong in this, and this is, and the other word they have used is combinations for संयोग. That is also not correct. So in both the cases, you have to use the word associations. Okay. In fact, in the first word itself, they have used association, but then the machine somehow lost track of it, and he kept on repeating coincidence and combination, coincidence and combinations. Okay. So that is the one word. And the other word one is paryay, paryayo. So they have used as alternatives. So alternatives is not the correct word here, paryayo, and they have also used word synonyms. So synonyms and alternatives they have used for paryay or paryayo. Okay. So in both the words are not correct. You have to use modifications. If it is one, then it will be modification. If it is paryayo, then modifications. Okay. So synonym and alternatives would be modifications. I think I have covered 90% of correction with these two words. Then, of course, there are some here and there, other mistakes also are there, but we can't help it. We have to correct it. Okay. So we are starting with Anitya Bhavna, contemplation about impermanence of the world. Here it is written as impermanence. That is still okay. Another word that we used in Vitrag Vigyan 1 was transitoriness. Okay. So different authors have different ideas of translation. And in English, for a particular word, you will find 100, 60, 50, 60 synonyms. Now the meanings are quite different. So we have to see the context in which the word is used, and accordingly we have to choose the meaning so that we have a correct understanding. This is very important point. Hope everyone is clear about it. So now coming on to the textbook. Are you sharing the soft copy? Okay. So in that
Have to make me the host again. I had bad network, no, so I got this.
okay, fine. Yeah. So if you see the Hindi version, it's written this new version. I don't know page. The old one is page 30.
So a new version is page 28.
Okay, thank you. Our correction master has not turned up. Prinal. Okay. Page 28 you've seen?
So it's either page 28 or page 29. It's just like, on my Google Doc, it's showing like as a mark. So if we
Okay.
keep scrolling down, it will show as Anitya Bhavna.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, keep scrolling down maybe.
Yeah.
Because for me, yeah. No.
Still, we are a long way. Go ahead, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now see, 1 minute. Again, you go ahead 1-2 page more. There will again another heading, impermanence. Yeah, this is, yeah. Now see, all associations are temporary. Now this is a correct. Slightly down. Yeah. So from here, the actual lessons begin for Anitya Bhavana. Previous one was also there, but we skip the first one. So this one, okay. All associations are temporary, okay. So here they have used the correct word, association, okay. In Hindi, it is written, Sanyog Shan Bhangur Sabhi. All associations are temporary. So now this is the correct. But now, apart from this, all other places they have used is as coincidence or combinations. So that needs to be correction. So all associations are temporary, but the soul is the abode of Dhruv. Okay. Now again they have used synonyms. Synonyms would be modifications. Okay. So two words you have to keep on changing every now and then. Modifications are transitory, but the substance is the eternal abode. Recognize this truth is the essence of the feeling. Now this feeling would be contemplation, but still we keep it as it because you understand it. Worship of Dhruv is the essence of worship. Now this is the actually words of the author. Okay. This is written by Dr. Bharilji. So this is the word. So put it in inverted commas. Okay. So here, not from there, all associations from there only. Yeah. All association, inverted commas. Yeah. And the worship, after worship, it will end. Now the explanation is coming. Every object is eternal by nature. Okay. So every object, all the substances are eternal by nature. Nobody has made it and nobody can destroy it and nobody is managing it. Every object, every substance is manifesting on its own. It has got no connections or relations with any other object. Okay. So each object is independent to transform by itself. So every object is eternal by nature. It is by nature. Okay. The non-associated substance. The non-associated substance of an eternal permanent object is eternal. And the associative, now here it is written alternative. So it will not be alternative, but it is again modification. And the associative modification is temporary. So the substance is eternal, permanent. It remains as it is, but the modification keeps on changing. Each modification is of only one samay. The next samay, the new modification will evolve and the old one will get extinct. Okay. So this extinction and evolution keeps on happening all the time. And in spite of this, the substance remains static, permanent. Okay. So this is the structure of the substance. So it has got two parts. One is the substance part, other is the modification part. Modification part is always changing every moment, and the substance part remains as it is all the time. So now the question is, you are the substance part or the modification part? Priyanka ji.
So if we talk about the body, then it is the modification. But if I'm talking about the Dravya soul, then
Mhm.
it is it's something that's not modification.
Substance part. So it is the substance
Substance.
part, which is eternal, which remains all the time as it is. Okay. So we are all substance part, but from time immortal, we believe our to be the modification part. Body is a different substance altogether. We are now talking only about the human being, not human being, the living being. Okay. Jeev, soul. Okay. The soul has two parts. One is the substance part, other is the modification part. So modification part keeps on changing. It's transitory, and the substance part is the permanent eternal object. In the feeling of impermanence, so again feeling will not be there, contemplation, okay, or reflection. One thinks only about the associative modifications. Critical thinking or analytical thinking on the all-round nature of alternatives. Now alternatives will be modifications, okay. All-round nature of alternatives is not the feeling of impermanence. Rather, the main objective of the feeling of impermanence is to think dispassionately. Think dispassionately means think passionlessly about the instability and transience of modifications. Because for self-interest, it is not useful to focus on the associative modifications rather. Rather, it is necessary to remove the vision. So vision would be focus. Okay. Remove the focus from them. So from time immortal, our focus was on the modification. Now we have to remove the focus from modification and take it towards the substance, the soul. Okay. So this transformation is what we are we have to do, and then only our path of liberation begins. Okay. So it's very easy. You can say that just we have to shift from here to there. But that shifting will come only when you contemplate immensely about the nature of the substance. Okay. Then you yourself will feel that, oh, I am the permanent one. And these emotions and the auspicious and inauspicious sentiments all keep on coming and going. Nothing is permanent, stationary. Okay. Everything is moving. I am the only one who is stationary, permanent, eternal, and static. Okay. So I am an observer. This is what you have to establish your identity as. Once you establish this identity, then from this perspective, you will be looking at all the perspectives, all the modifications that are coming in sequence, but you will not become a doer because you know you are an observer. Your job is just to know and see and not doing it. Okay. So this is the way you practice discriminative knowledge. It is necessary to remove the vision. Vision means focus from the alternatives. Alternatives means modifications, and orient it towards the nature. Means orient it towards the substance part of soul. Okay. That is our nature. Now you cancel this word of attachment. So this is the first point we are still discussing, and I will let you know when the first point gets over. And in this chapter, we will be discussing It's a very big essay, but we will be discussing the important one. And I think there are 5 to 6 points. Yeah, 6 points are there. So this is the first point. We are just reading the first one. Okay. So you cancel the word attachment. Now, due to lack of knowledge of the nature of matter. Now, at many places, you will come to this mistake. It is not the matter, it is the substance. Matter means Pudgal Dravya, but we are not talking of Pudgal Dravya. We are talking about soul. So, the substance would be an apt word. Due to lack of knowledge of the nature of substance as distinct from other and synonyms. Now, other is non-self substance, okay? And synonyms will be modifications. Par or paryayo se bin, okay? So, par means non-self substances. Apart from me, for me, everything else is non-self substance. I am the self and everything else is non-self. So other would be non-self and synonym would be modification. Modifications, yeah, plural. Other, you change the other one, only the word other, as distinct from non-self. Other ki jagah non-self. Replace other with non-self substance. Other, it's in the line about it. Right. This soul has established unity with other and synonyms. So with other again non-self substance and modifications. Since time immemorial has considered them to be everything. So since time immemorial, what mistake we have done? We have established unity or oneness with what? With non-self substance and with modifications. That is our only blemish. And because of that, we are suffering in the 4 stages of existence. Okay. From human to subhuman to heavenly being to hellish being. This wandering goes on and on and on. And now that we have got a chance to come out of that circle of life and death, life and death, life and death, and start our spiritual journey and get liberated in a few births. It's as simple. Has considered them to be everything, has focused its sight on them. Okay, so he is focused his sight on them. As a result, it is infinitely unhappy. So now I hope you all understand. Even after constantly making efforts to remove the sorrows do not go away because its efforts themselves keep moving in the opposite direction. Because its efforts themselves keep moving in the opposite direction. So they don't have, if you don't have a proper guidance, your all efforts will go in the wrong direction, opposite direction, and your sorrow will not go away. It wants to keep permanent the combination. So what would be combination? Associations, okay? It wants to keep permanent the associations or modifications. Now this you have to correct every now and then. Combinations and alternatives. Either coincidence and alternatives. Associations, yes. Alternatives would be modifications. I think you have something in the software where give instruction that you change this word, and it wherever the word is there, it automatically changes. If you can do that, then it will save a lot of time and effort for you also. But I am not aware, but I know that there exists something like this, because so it wants to keep permanent the combination or alternatives. This means associations or modification in which it has established affinity. Now, affinity means apnatva and affection means mamatva. So again, like the good words would be something different from this, but here it is written as established affinity. Affinity means apnatva. It is not wrong, but we could find better words also. So it has established affinity and affection, ekatva or mamatva. It also keeps making continuous efforts in the same direction. So this is our mistake. Now going ahead, but they are, next page. But they are by nature ephemeral. But they are by nature
Ephemeral.
ephemeral. Ephemeral means transient or momentary. Okay. But they are by nature. What by they means the associations and the modifications are momentary by nature and destructible. They are not permanent. They are destructible. Hence, it is impossible for them to remain permanent. Okay. Good.
Sir,
Yeah.
in the previous paragraph where it said non-self substances, does it mean like other Jivatma?
Other Jivatma also, other substances also. Apart
So,
from soul,
yeah.
apart from my soul, even my body and all other associations are non-self substance for me. So basically it is Ajiv. Jeev, Ajiv.
Okay, Jeev, Ajeev. Jeev, whoever is Jeev apart from me,
Yeah.
and Ajeev, and then modifications. Okay, got it.
Okay. So, but they are by nature ephemeral and destructible. Hence, it is impossible for them to remain permanent. This is the reason why his efforts prove futile, like extracting oil from sand. So you cannot extract oil from sand, right? How many years, 100 years also, if you put in tireless efforts, still you will not find oil from sand, because oil never exists in the sand. Okay. Tiredness from labor and repeated failures increase unhappiness, frustration. As a result, so after unhappiness, there is a comma. Then, as a result, restlessness and anxiety keep increasing despite infinite failures. Yeah. Despite infinite failures, this ignorant soul keeps trying in the same direction, because the true path to happiness has not been found and suffering cannot be tolerated either. So he is not able to uh, tolerate the sufferings, and he is not able to find the true path. Okay. Hence, whatever comes to mind, he keeps doing that. This entire situation is being created due to lack of proper knowledge. You see, the main reason for our suffering is the lack of proper knowledge, lack of right knowledge, and faith of the changing nature of associations and modifications. So combinations would be associations and alternatives would be modification. Hence, in the feeling of impermanence, in the contemplation of impermanence, the impermanence nature, there is a correction here, the impermanence nature of association and modification is contemplated. So this is the
Can you
end.
repeat?
The impermanence
Mhm.
nature of association and modification is contemplated. So you have to just change combination to associations everywhere. Yes. No, you have to write there combinations. Combinations, yeah. And replace it with associations. Right. So this will be done on the whole book?
Yes, sir, it's done.
Yeah, very good. So, good. Okay. Nature of association and modification is contemplated. So this is the end of point number 1. Now, point number 2. This is a reference given by Pandit Todarmal ji from Moksh Marg Prakashak, page number 52, third chapter. Okay. In the third chapter, page number 52, Moksh Marg Prakashak, this has been extracted from there. And this is one way of this worldly person that he wants to transform the things in the same way as he believes in himself. Okay. Okay. If they are transformed, then his belief will become true. But eternal things are transformed in different ways with their own limits. No one is under anyone's control. No one is transformed by someone's transformation. Wanting to transform them is not a way. It is a false view. Okay. So such a good statement that if you understand this and if you believe in this, your 90% of worries, tension, depression will go away, because things doesn't manifest according to our way. It has got its own independence. You want the kid to be very good in studies, but his ability is something different. So unnecessary, you will be unhappy, sad, but the fact is that there is nothing in our control. It's all happening independently. Now, accepting this will bring happiness in your life. Okay. So what is the real solution? Okay. If you have faith in the nature of things, you put a apostrophe and there write as they are. If you have faith in the nature of things as they are, then all your sorrows will be removed.
Sorry, sir, can you repeat? I got distracted.
If you have faith in the nature of things, there you have to add as they are. As they are. Below. New paragraph, yeah. Nature of things as they are. Yeah. Then
Sorry.
all your sorrows will be removed. Just as someone Just as someone out of delusion believes a dead person to be alive or wants to revive him, he himself becomes sad because the dead person never comes back to life. And believing him to be dead and that he will not come alive by reviving him is the only way to remove that sorrow. Okay. In the same way, if you have a wrong view, false view, okay, believe things to be otherwise, okay, and want to transform them otherwise, you yourself become sad. And believing them to be real, not real, it will be true. And believing them to be true and that they will not come alive. You delete come alive, you write they will not transform otherwise. And the third line, and believing them to be real. Real would be true. Yeah. Real की जगह true लिख दिए. Believing them to be true and that they will not come alive. So come alive you delete because that was in the example, come alive, because they were talking about a dead person. But now here we are putting the principle in place and that they will not transform otherwise. By transforming them, it's okay. Now it's correct. Is the only way to remove that sorrow. Okay. Now you cancel this whole line and the next paragraph. There is a way to get rid of that suffering. You can cancel this whole line. Not the whole paragraph, only the first line. There is a way to, bas, that's all. Okay. The remedy for suffering caused by delusion is to remove the delusion. So by removing the delusion, one gets right faith, and that is the true remedy to know. Okay. So the main source of our sufferings and sorrow are the delusion. Okay. And if we are able to remove the delusion, then we will get right faith and then we will become truly happy. Now, this is the end of the point number 2. Now, third point. Here a question may arise that the thought of impermanence mainly occurs to those with right viewpoint. It is written right viewpoint, but we would write here as right belief. So viewpoint, you cancel viewpoint and you write right belief. And also to sages. Okay. Samyak Drashti and Muni. So are they also unaware of the transience of coincidence would be associations and modification, so you have already changed. Associations. Good. I think now everything would change. So the last time we did some corrections from the introductory chapter. That also you have done change? Oh, good.
So whatever was the last updated copy given by Prenal ji on the group, I have used that copy right now.
Oh, that's good. So
I'm making changes on the last copy that was there on our WhatsApp group.
Okay.
And after this class, I will again upload this on our WhatsApp group.
Oh, good,
Yes.
good. So even in the tomorrow, if you are not there, somebody else would.
Somebody will open this same copy. Yes. I
Right.
will, when I save this now, I'll save it with today's date.
Okay, good. Thank you, thank you. Here a question may arise. So, are they also unaware of the transience of associations and modifications? No, they are well aware of the transience of associations and modifications. Ignorance born, so anxiety is experienced only by ignorant people, not by the wise people with right, again, right view, but right belief would be a good word. But in the absence of completely detachment, attachment-based modification, yeah, right, are found in the wise people as per their role in the associations of God, scriptures, guru, disciple, mother, father. So just we have put a hyphen between mother and father. Here also you can put an hyphen, God, hyphen scriptures, hyphen guru. So it will not be comma, comma, comma. So God, scripture and guru is one category. And you can also write instead of guru, God, scriptures, monk. Yes. Right. Disciple, mother, father, wife, son, and body, wife, son, etc. and body, etc. So these are all associations, okay? And in the association of Shubhrag, it is written Shubhrag, so association of auspicious attachments. Shubhrag, you delete. Auspicious attachments. Yeah, you can put it in bracket also. Auspicious attachments, comma, spatial Shayopsham Gyan. Spatial Shayopsham Gyan, okay, etc. as far as possible. So after possible, it is comma, and then their mind also becomes unstable in the separation of the desired associations. Okay. For the stability of the mind, they also think and contemplate again and again about the transience of associations and modifications. This thinking of theirs should be understood as Amanya Swadhyay. Okay, so Swadhyay has 5 steps. First one is to read, then the second one is asking question, the third one is the contemplations, and the fourth one is Amnaya. Amnaya Swadhyay means memorize. You have to memorize, okay? So this thinking of theirs should be understood as Amnaya Swadhyay. So whatever you have contemplate, you have to contemplate in such a manner that you learn it by heart, memorize it. So this is Amnaya Swadhyay. I'll find the perfect English word for this. There is a word, but I forgot to explore it, but I'll find it out. No problem. Due to the rapid rise of character obsession. So this will be due to the rapid rise of conduct deluding karma. Charitra monia karma. cancer. Conduct deluding karma. Even the mind of Charitramonian. Even the mind of a brave and courageous great man like Ramchandra ji had become restless. You know this in
Okay.
in Ram Kahani, you must have read that Ramchandra ji carried the dead body of Lakshman ji for 6 months. He was not ready to believe that Lakshman has died. He was in so much of he has so much affection for his brother, so he was not ready to believe that he has died. So that example is giving here. Courageous men, great men like Ramchandra ji. Ramchandra was an enlightened soul, Saik Samyak Drashti, and he also became restless. Carrying the dead body of Lakshman for 6 months and asking news of Sita from animals, birds, trees, and creepers. Could this be the result of ordinary restlessness? No. This is again Charitramonia, conduct deluding karma, and because of that, these things happen. Still, that restlessness was not born of ignorance. Ramchandraji was not ignorant. He was an enlightened soul. But because of this conduct deluding karma, he had these situations in life where he was carrying the dead body of his brother Lakshman for 6 months. And when Sita was kidnapped by Ravan, he was asking animals, birds, trees, whether you have seen Sita. So this is just because of, not because of ignorance, it was born of attachment. Okay. So this is all correct. Now, along with removing the anxiety caused by ignorance, it is also necessary to constantly think about the instability and transience of associations and modifications to remove the anxiety caused by love and hatred. So again, love would be attachments and hatred would be aversions. Yes, attachments and aversions. This is the reason why thinking about the impermanence, thinking about the temporary impermanence, contemplation is useful and necessary for everyone, whether knowledgeable or ignorant, disciplined or undisciplined. It is pleasant, it is peaceful, it is the ultimate nectar. So here ends the third point. Okay. So that thinking about the impermanence of the world is pleasant, peaceful, and is the ultimate nectar. Nectar means amrit, param amrit. So we are come to end of point number 3. Now point number 4, skip one page. Point number 4 will be, go further down. So there are references given from the textbooks. Yeah, slightly below. The 4th point starts, thus we see from there. Yeah, here. 4th point. Thus we see Thus, we see that the main purpose of the thinking process of impermanence is to remove the focus from the other and alternatives. So, other would be non-self and alternatives would be modifications. I think that has been changed, no? The other will be non-self substance. And the modification, and focus on the nature of the substance in order to maintain equanimity instead of getting happy or sad in the union or separation. Of the desired and undesired modifications. I think that has been changed, right? Right. Because the only way to achieve equanimity is to have the attitude directed towards the nature. Okay. So the transformation will happen only when you remove your focus from the non-self substance and the modification and inclined it towards the nature. Okay. Your own nature, self nature. Even while thinking about impermanence, okay, if equanimity does not awaken, then we should understand that our thinking process related to it is not correct. Okay, so we must realize this, because if we think properly, the feeling of equanimity, the manifestation of equanimity definitely happen. You don't react, you absorb everything. Okay, that is the ultimate outcome of this thinking process. Then we should understand that our thinking process is related to it is not correct. There is definitely some problem somewhere while thinking about impermanence, etc. Contemplations, not feeling, but contemplations. The kind of equanimity that should be reflected in our facial expressions and gestures, such a thing is rarely seen. Next page, it is on the next page. So after gestures, it is not the full stop, okay? It's only a comma. After gestures, it is a comma. Yeah. Such a thing, so again S is capital, so it will be small. Such a thing is rarely seen. But the worried mind and disturbed facial expression tells us that we have become even more restless and anxious at the thought of the inevitable separation of associations and the sure doom of modifications. So doom would be sure extinctions. Extinctions, yeah. Good. One minute. So here ends the fourth one. Okay. Now moving on to the fifth point, the next page, the changeability. हाँ, उसके ऊपर come down. Take it up, slightly up. हाँ, ऊपर. Up. Bus. So here somewhere it is written the changeability. Yeah, fifth point. The changeability of modifications being the modification nature of the object is beneficial for the soul seeker, because if the modifications are not changeable, then there is no possibility of the worldly modification disappearing. It is written here appearing, but it will be disappearing. Worldly modification. Synonym is not changed, so you have to change the synonym to modification. And disappearing. And there is no space for the salvation synonym, salvation modification to appear. Again, modification. Synonym would be modification.
Yeah, because we change synonyms, not synonym.
So that's why. So I think, yeah. So there was synonym above also one word. So there
I changed it.
Yeah, okay, fine. Thank you. So the state of salvation in the form of infinite happiness is the absence of all associations. If the associations were permanent and not temporary, then how would salvation be possible? Therefore, the destructiveness of association is also in the interest of the soul. The nature of thing, the nature of changeability. Or let it be remain as the nature of change. The nature of change, let it be change. The nature of change is also in our favor. In the absence of the world of infinite sorrow, salvation in the form of infinite happiness appears. But in the absence of salvation, the worldly state does not reappear. R-E. The worldly state does not reappear. Infinite sorrow is destructible and infinite happiness is indestructible. What could be better than this? This is the end of point number 5. Now, sixth and the last one, next page. If we wander in the world of imagination, if we wander, yes, this one. If we wander, this is a 6th point. If we wander in the world of imagination against the reality, we will not get anything even after going very far. We will not get peace and happiness. Hence, it is better that we understand the mortality of modifications. Okay. In the right way and accept it with ease. This is the only way to get peace and happiness when we look at the impermanence of associations and modifications through the lens of our false beliefs, and likes, dislikes would be attachments dash aversions. Delete likes and dislikes and write attachments dash aversions. Likes and dislikes you delete. Attachments dash aversions, no comma. it appears painful. That is correct. Fine. However, if we look at it in the light of right knowledge, then it brings peace. After peace would be comma, remove and tranquility as tranquility and happiness. And happiness. Because peace and tranquility is same. And happiness as it is the nature of thing, of the thing. Okay. Now delete the next line. It will appear to be pleasurable. You delete this whole line. Remove this line. The fault is in our belief, not vision. Its fault is in our belief or faith. Faith. And we are searching for it in the world. The world of 6 elements is well organized. The world of 6 substances. Elements are always, we discuss elements as 7. So the world of 6 substances, the universe of 6 substances is well organized in its nature of transformation. Hence the change is to be made in our belief or faith, not vision, and not in the world. But the people of the world see the world from their perspective of attachment and aversion. Attachment and aversion. Love and hatred, delete. Yes. And want to change it accordingly. We have spent eternity and also suffered infinite sorrows in this evil attempt to turn the tide against the flow of the river. Now, the time has come that we should accept, number 1, the changing nature of things with ease. You write point number 1, the changing nature of things with ease. Number 2, welcome with cheerfulness. Welcome with cheerfulness. You have to add this. Welcome with cheerfulness. Welcome will be there. Welcome with cheerfulness. The transience of associations as an asset and not as a problem. Third point, maintain third point, maintain a natural equanimity in associations and separations. Fourth point, stay as far as possible away from futile options of acquiring, not joining, acquiring and removing associations. Of acquiring and removing associations. Then fifth point, remove our focus. It's written vision here, but we have to write focus. Remove our focus from changing associations and modification and take it towards the unchanging nature of substances, because this is the good result of the right thinking of impermanence. Okay, matter would be substances. Okay, so this is all. The 6th point adds here. I will give one example of Rishabdev Bhagwan. When he was a king, when he was a prince or a king in his kingdom, he was watching the dance by the Nilanjana and his other companions. Okay, so he was watching the dance of Nilanjana, and in between, while the dance was going on, Nilanjana suddenly died, and the Indra Indra came to know about this, and he quickly replaced Nilanjana with another Nilanjana. But Rishabdev Bhagwan saw the death of Nilanjana, and with that he developed the feeling of detachment, vairagya, and then he left the kingdom and became a monk, and then he meditated and he manifested omniscience knowledge, and then he became a Tirthankar, and ultimately he got liberated. So the death of Nilanjana worked as, for Rishabdev Bhagwan, worked as a means of detachment, okay, vairagya. So that is the example we take from impermanence of the world. So looking at Nilanjana's death, King Rishabdev realized the impermanence nature of the world. So this is the example. So we have completed the first one only. I was supposed to cover the second one also, but we have, I think, few minutes left. So we'll do the markings, okay? And the corrections we will do tomorrow. I think most of the corrections would be through, but the first point starts from page number 42. 42 of the textbook, just 2-3 pages ahead. Next. Yes, feeling helpless. No one will. This is the first point. No one will be able to extend life. Okay, so this is the first point. It ends futile attempts. Futile attempts. Down. Futile attempts. Yeah. Gone. Slightly. Yes. Yeah. So here the first point ends. Then the second point begins from the next paragraph. Among all the connected objects. Okay. So again, connected would be associated. Connected is also okay, but associated would be a good word. So second starts from there, and the second one ends. Oh, 1 minute. Yeah, helplessness. 3-4 lines only. Helplessness. Mainly feeling of helplessness. Yeah. So second ends here. Then the third begins from the next page. Even Indra. Go ahead. Yeah. This is the third point. Even Indra. It ends at. So this is 3A. In 3 we have 2 points. This is 3A, and so 3A ends in the middle of the next page. Asharan Bhavna is also called Ashahe Bhavna. Yeah, here it ends. This is 3A, okay? Now, the fourth one starts, 3B we are coming later on. Fourth one start. Asharan is an indicator. Go slightly below. Bas. 1 minute. अरे ऊपर. Yes. Asharan is an indicator. Here the fourth point starts. Asharan. 3 lines from below. Yes. Asharan is an indicator. This one only. Yes, this one. This one, right. Fourth point. Okay. And fourth point ends, no one can save. No one can save. No one no one can. Before that, no one can save before that. No one can say.
Here, no?
No, about that. No
That's
one can save. Yeah, question mark. No one can save, question mark. Yeah. So here fourth one ends. And the next word is the B point, 3B, the central point. 3B. Yes. And it ends after 2 lines. This is the basic difference between the two. Yeah. 3B ends. Now the fifth point, in the context, slightly, yeah. In the context, thoda upar. Go further. Down. Yeah. In the context, fifth one, okay. Then it ends here, without refugee. Slightly, yeah. Go further. In between it is there. Yeah, here. Panch Parmeshti are said to be about this, yeah. Thinking deeply, before that, without refugee.
Here?
Yeah. Yes, fifth point ends. Then the sixth one, slightly below, 2-3 paragraphs. The main purpose of Asharana Bhavna. Go ahead. The main purpose, yeah. Good. Sixth point. It will end at modification. Associations and modifications. Slightly below. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yes. Association modification. Yes. So sixth ends, and I think Seventh one, next page. After one page. Now Asharan Baba says that the worship now. Now, new paragraph, now. Yeah, seventh. True essence. True essence would be the last word. And that is the end of Asharana Bhavan. Yeah, true essence. Yes. Seventh. Okay, so we'll cover it tomorrow. I have just done the marking. So whatever I have marked are the some of the highlighted points, but for your own benefit, you should read the whole chapter, okay? Whole chapter of each bhavana, so that questions may come from, fill in the blanks may come from anywhere. But for your understanding, these are some of the highlighted points. But it would be good if you read the whole text, okay? So you will get the essence out of it, okay? Okay. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है। 9 बार नौकार मंत्र गिनेंगे। जय जिनेन्द्र।